On the website, there's the extension requests webpage. You can submit an extension request to the discussion on GitHub. You can click on the button to upvote a request. So if I see a large demand for an extension, I may build it for you. So today I'm going to build this JSON inspector or formatter extension from scratch. I will demonstrate the whole process, including starting from the template and publishing the extension. I didn't practice, let's do it together. So why do we need something like this? So for example, if I send a request to some API that returns a JSON string, the raw data is a single line of string, which is very hard to read. My browser has extension to show the JSON string in a parsed format, but your JSON data may not be in browser, so we may want a JSON inspector and formatter. So let's do it. This will involve two types of commands: custom UI command for visualizing and inspecting the JSON objects, and headless command, which is a simple formatter. The first step is to initialize a template. You don't have to use a template, but it's easier for you. You can convert any front-end project to a Kunkun extension very easily. I have another video for that. I did the conversion from XCaliDraw web app to a Kunkun extension. So we're going to use custom UI command and a headless command. But in each type of template, we have only a single type of command. That doesn't mean we cannot make different types of command. I'm going to start with a SvelteKit template. That's my favorite front-end framework. I will call it JSON. I will also create a headless template. The name doesn't matter because I will copy the code and remove it. It's always easier to copy the code from a simpler template to a more complicated template. The custom UI template contains a web app, which is for sure much more complicated. Let me open it. And also open the headless command. So in another video, I went over headless command in more detail. So in this video, I will simply copy the template code. I will copy this to here. I will call it template source. And we also need the build script. Build template. Actually, just build. In package.json, let me copy the headless command array and paste it here. Now, in this video, we will not cover template UI command. Oh, sorry, this should be a headless, not template. Okay, let me install dependencies with Spawn. Any other package manager should also work. Add types Spawn. So this error should go away. Let me restart TS server. I'm having some TS config issue. Let me quickly fix them. Good. And in the scripts, let me change the name to JSON formatter and inspector. The description will be JSON formatter inspector. And I will use, let me search for some JSON icon. Iconify JSON. I really like this raycast extension for searching for Iconify icons. JSON, which is better? I would just use the first one. paste the name. And what do we need? We need write text permission in order to write the formatted JSON string. And also, yeah, I guess we also need clipboard read text to read the JSON string. In the scripts, dev is for spawning a dev server, and I'm gonna add dev headless, so it will run bang view ts dev. Let me try bang dev headless. Oh, sorry. The location is wrong. It should be headless source, and the folder it's watching headless source. Good. Try again. Headless source UUID is missing, but I don't need it here. Let me remove everything and try again. Great, it's working. We have a distribution folder now. However, it may conflict with the front end, so I will need to change the alt-dir to headless distribution. Yeah, when you mix different types of command, you may need to modify the configuration a little bit, but it's still very simple. Bang dev headless. Good. Let me also init this. Let's start with the headless command, which is a JSON formatter. JSON formatter. Very simple. It's gonna read text, parse, and log. After log, write the stringified with 2 as an indentation. Good. Let me open the app, add dev extension to load this folder. I can remove the headless templates and load this instead. Great. So we have the headless command UUID. Yeah, I forgot to change. I forgot to change the name of the command. Format JSON, and the location is headless dist index.js. Let me also, we only need one custom UI command, and this will be a JSON inspector. Good. So you can see it's not reloaded automatically. In the future, I may add a watcher to watch this file, but now you can use reload extensions or simply reload the entire window. Okay, so let me go to the browser and copy a string. Yeah, this one should be good. Let me copy this and go back. Let me paste a string here. Raw test string equals to. Good. It's now in my clipboard. And during development, you may want to enable the dev tools. You can toggle it on and off. Good. If I click Format and paste, you can see it's already formatted. Great. That's simple, right? And I should probably add a toast message to show whether the format is successful. And let me also add the try catch block, because it may not be a JSON string, right? Toast.error failed to format. Let me console.login. Now I already copied some code, so the data in my clipboard is no longer JSON parsable. Let me try again. Failed to format JSON, and we have the error in the console. Good. Let me copy this again. Formatted. If I paste, great, it works. So the formatter is done. Let's work on the visualizer. And I'm going to use a project from Svelte Hack 2024. Yeah, as you can see, we're the winner. And in another category, I found this Svelte Value Inspect, and I really like it. It can turn a JSON object or JavaScript object to a nice visualization like this. So let's do it. Go to npm, copy this, go back. I'm gonna use spawn. And one tip for developing a custom UI command is try to start with a browser instead of the extension, because a browser is more accessible. So I will go to page.svelte and remove all the boilerplates. Great. And import inspect from this package. Let's try. Inspect value is, let's say A1. What's wrong? Great. Looks nice, right? Now, let me raw JSON state effect. So this is wrong when the raw JSON is modified. So JSON.parse the raw JSON, JSON data. Let's try catch and toast. So as you can see, there are multiple toasts from different sub-packages, and this one is custom, so we have to use custom. And if we open the other file, we should be using headless here instead of other sub-package. Good. And we will display JSON data. And in the onMount function, let's clipboard read text. Okay, so since we're starting to read data from clipboard, we will switch back to here. JSON inspector. And by the way, I enabled HMR here. So if I disable this, you will get not found, because this is production mode and it will try to load the static files, the index.html in the build folder, but the build folder doesn't exist yet. Oh, so it's using build instead of dist, so there's no conflict. All right, there's no conflict with the headless distribution folder. But anyways, it's good. Go back, let's enable HMR. Yeah, the dev server is on. And go to inspector, invalid JSON. Yeah, because that's, we didn't have a valid JSON in my clipboard yet. Index. Actually, let me copy it here. I just copied and Looks good, right? The 3 buttons are some helper utility tools that you can use when you don't have the extension completed. So for example, if you don't have the back button, you will not be able to go back. And without this move button, you will not be able to move the window. So if it's blocking your view, you can either, for example, hide it, or you can UI to show the back button in a different location, for example, bottom right, or you can use objects to show it in bottom 10, right 10. So it's here, or I think 2 is a better value. Maybe 0.5. Yeah, looks much better. If you do not like this move button, you can also hide the move button and write your own. For example, I will, by the way, Tailwind is already in the template, so you can use it directly. Let me use a container. What else do I need? I will, let me call it main. And I will add a div with height 12. Let me give it a red background so it's more visible for now. Let me close the browser. And I want to move this draggable. Okay, now it's not draggable. I will add data Kunkun drag region. So if you're familiar with Tari, this must be very familiar to you. In Tari, you will use data Tari drag region. But yeah, since this is a Kunkun extension, we use this. Now we can drag the red region. I forgot to say that the drag region attribute feature doesn't come out of the box if you're not using the provided templates. If you're not using a template, remember to call UI register drag region function in the layout. So after this, I will remove the color. Great. Yeah, it's empty. Let me copy the string again. I can remove it now. It's working. Let me copy another more complicated string from the schema. This is a JSON schema for our manifest file, which is from this API endpoint. Maybe we need another button to reload data from clipboard. So you can use the kksh svelte 5 package, load JSON from clipboard. So these components are from shadcn svelte. You can add them yourself, but for convenience, I think most people will not need to customize these buttons or other components. I packaged all of them in this package. If you're using Vue, you can use Vue. If you're using React, you can install the React version. But if you want to customize those buttons, feel free. This is just more convenient for myself, so I don't have like 100 files in my extensions. Let me move the button to absolute. I'll move to the bottom. Okay, looks good. And I will write a function, load JSON from clipboard, and move the code here to here. Click equals to this function. Great. Now, if I copy this string and go back and load from clipboard, great, it works. And I can expand the properties if I want to. Oh, there is something wrong with the location of the button. It should be fixed. And Let me do it again. Load. This looks better. Okay, remember we're not finished. We also need to publish this extension. So I will go to the documentation. Where is it? Documentation. You can choose to publish with npm or JSR, but I think npm is more common. So I will use this. I have another video dedicated to demonstrate how to publish a package with npm. It's more detailed. In this video, I will keep it simpler. So I will make a GitHub workflows npm publish paste. Oh, sorry. It has to be a YAML file. And I will need to create this repo. ext JSON. It has to be public. And I will copy the last 2 lines. Great. In git ignore, I want to ignore headless distribution folder. Run build. Yeah, there is one thing I didn't do, which is to modify the build script and also verify whether the production inspector will work. So now we have a build folder that contains the index.html file. Let's go back and disable HMR to see if it loads. Okay, it works. I just realized there's one more thing I want to do before submitting this. Document.add event listener. I want to listen to key down events and go back when escape is cast. So if e.g is escape, then we call UI go back. Yep, it's running. Let's try again. I'll press escape. Okay, we're back. Nice. Let me go to package.json's files. Build is the front end. We need to add readme. So if you don't add readme in the extension store, you may not get this markdown. This is taken from your readme. Okay, we also need headless distribution folder. What else? Package.json should be included by default. What else? We only have a front end and a headless. Okay, that's good enough. Yeah, by the way, the files field includes the files that we want to publish to npm. And in the publish workflow, we need to add one more line here. Run build only builds the front end. We also want to run the build.ts to build the headless command. Init commit. And let me copy these 2 lines again. Add origin and push. Refresh. Great. And if you're trying to publish to npm, you will need to add your npm token to the actions secret. But since I already have the secret under organization, I don't need to do it. In my other video, I have a more detailed explanation on this. Actions. Yep, it's running. Now, while it's running, let me quickly explain it. So every time you push to main or create a release or trigger it manually. So let me go back here. If you click on the workflow, you can run it manually here on a specific branch. it will run the entire workflow. Checkout means git clone, setup bounds, setup Node.js, install the dependencies, build the front end, and build the headless command. But so you can customize this workflow however you want to generate these files. So for example, you can also like write some Golang code or Rust code to compile it in the workflow. This is checking whether the current version is already published, and if it's already published, then it will not continue. But if it's not published, this step will be error, but we continue on error. So if the previous outcome is not success, then we run npm publish with provenance statement. Yeah, I also explained provenance statement in another video. Let's see what's wrong. We are missing repository. So to publish a package with provenance to npm, we need to add the repository field. Object, the type is git, and URL is, looks good. Let me try again. Yeah, you can see there's an error here, but it's okay because it's checking whether this version exists, and it doesn't, so we can continue to publish. Great, it's published. And let's go to here. Now, if you search for this package name, I don't think it's gonna work because it's just published. Yeah, you don't see it here, but you can go to any package and replace its package name with our package name. So yeah, it's published. I forgot to modify the README, but it's okay. And we can see this provenance statement. Good. Now we can register this extension on our website. You need to log in with GitHub. Go to your dashboard, publish npm, enter the package name, and you will see your package of the versions of your package, and you can publish. If you didn't publish your package with GitHub action and also the provenance flag, then you will not see this signed by GitHub action. If you bundle your package locally and publish from your own computer, you will not be able to publish this extension. This is for security and transparency. And click publish. It's gonna run some checking published. Yep. And I should be able to find it here. Good. Also the extension store. Now let's go back to the app, go to store, search for JSON, install. And if I refresh, yeah, you will see the downloads becomes 1. Let me copy a raw JSON string here. Add JSON format. Oh, I should be calling this one. Did I not use a toast message? I think I forgot, but let me paste. Didn't work. Oh, JSON formatted. I guess that JSON schema was too large for this command to format, so it took a while. Let me paste again. Yep, it works this time. And let's also try the inspector. I don't have a valid JSON. Let me copy again and load. Great, it works. Nice. There is one more thing I want to demonstrate. So in the extension detail page, you can see demo images like this. And I want to add one for our JSON inspector extension. Let me copy this raw JSON string and open inspector. Let me also expand each object so it looks better. I will take a screenshot. You can either save it to clipboard or save it as a file, depending on how you want to upload it. The demo image has to be a remote URL, a URL that starts with HTTPS. A relative path to your local file will not work. I don't currently support that. So I prefer to use a service like Imager. You can just new post and drag the image file here. And I want to demonstrate an extension I wrote. It's called Imager Upload. I already configured the preference to add my client ID. But there's a screenshot in my clipboard, I can just upload. And I can see the URL is also written to my clipboard. So I can go back to the editor, readme, and remove all of this JSON extension and paste. Let me also add features. After adding to README, this is optional. You also need to add the demo image to the package.json, just like this. Then we need to publish again. I need to bump the version. I will call it 1.0. And go to the dashboard. Here I can see the new version, publish. Go back to here, and we can see this demo image in the extension detail page. Great. That's it. It's not too hard, right? It's basically writing a web app. Thank you.